So, hey guys, this video isn't going to be like my usual ones, and it's not about games or not about random thoughts, not even about school. This is just me talking because something happened recently, and I don't really know how to feel about it or to how even to explain about it. My Lola passed away. I also 6 months ago, my Lola passed away too. Two grandparents gone, just like that. You'd think I'd be crying or at least feeling crushed, but the strange thing is, I feel almost nothing. 4 days ago, maybe it was 4 days ago, maybe, or I maybe 3 days, I got a message. It wasn't a long call, it wasn't a even a voice message, it's just a text. And with 3 words, Lola is gone. These 3 words that should break you, 3 words that should make the world stop. But me, I just stared at my phone, and for a moment, it felt unreal. Like maybe if I didn't reply, maybe if I just ignored the message, it wouldn't be true. But I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I didn't even know what to type back. And all I felt was blank. And I think part of why I feel so disconnected is just I was disconnected. It's almost like years since I last really saw my grandparents. I think it was like 14 years or 13 years maybe. But I didn't grow up visiting them every weekend. I didn't share daily meals with them or hear their voices telling me stories before bed. Life just kept us apart. And distance has this way of slowly, quietly breaking bonds, not in a dramatic way but in this slow fade until you don't even realize how far you've drifted. So when they died, it almost felt like I was losing strangers, people I love but barely knew anymore. But here's the thing, just because I didn't feel the grief doesn't mean I didn't feel anything. But what I did feel was guilt. I feel guilty that I wasn't there in their last moments. I feel guilty that they didn't see me grow up the way they probably wanted to. And I feel guilty that I didn't make the effort to visit more, to call more, and to be there. That guilt is so heavy, sometimes heavier than the grief itself. Because crying at least feels like a release, but guilt, it just sits there. So I started asking myself, what's wrong with me? Am I heartless? Am I numb? Shouldn't I feel something when people who brought my parents into this world, the people who are part of my roots, are gone? But the more I sat with those thoughts, the more I realized something. Feeling nothing doesn't mean you don't care. It doesn't mean that you don't love them. Sometimes it just means you've been away for so long, your heart doesn't know how to process the loss. Grief isn't always loud, and it's not always sobbing into your pillow or breaking down at a funeral, which I didn't even attend to. Sometimes grief is silent. It's the blank stares. It's the guilt you can't shake, and it's the emptiness in your chest that you can't quite name. And that's okay. If you ever felt the same, if someone passed away and you felt numb instead of broken, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means you're human. And grief doesn't look the same for everyone. For me, this whole thing has been a wake up call. A reminder that distance doesn't just happen in miles, it just so happens in time. Years go by, and suddenly, the people you thought would always be there are gone. And now I'm left wishing I called more, I visited more, or even tried harder because I can't change what happened. But I can do something about the people I still have now. So maybe that's the real lesson in all of this is to connect now, but not later. So for those of you that are listening, hug your parents, message your siblings, visit the people you've been meaning to visit for years. Because one day, you might get the same three-word message, just like me, and by then it'll be too late. So, thanks for listening. Good night and good luck.